we're so used to doing that when we do nothing, we think that there's something wrong with us, and there's nothing wrong. Everybody wants to be free until they understand what it takes to be free. When you are free, that means you are choosing full autonomy. And being fully autonomous and truly owning your life looks like owning every single choice, every single decision, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. And that in itself is a lot of pressure. Y'all, welcome back to another daily check-in with your girl, Amber Rich Book. And this conversation stems from a conversation that I was having with a sister friend earlier today about freedom, right? And how one time in my life I got free and then I found myself right back in the same loop and situation because it looks like, what are you going to do when you wake up and you think, it reminds me of the Proud Family episode where they wished all the parents away and they did the deal with Al Roker, et cetera, and there were no parents. And they're like, what? Well, what are we supposed to do? Being fully autonomous looks like you tell yourself when you wake up, when you go to bed, what you're going to eat, what you're not going to eat. That means it requires an immense amount of discipline. Being a disciple of yourself is one of my favorite things to teach people when they are on this self mastery journey. Look at me. Do I need to go back home? On this self mastery journey. There is no right or wrong to it, but it just means that you accept everything that comes along with it, understanding that you are the creator of your reality. So when people say be careful what you ask for, be careful what you ask for. And this also goes into why we should not covet the lives of other people and covet the experiences of other people. Every religious book practice tells us not to covet others. And the reason why we shouldn't covet is because we don't understand what all goes into those experiences. We don't understand the consequences. We don't understand the choices. We don't understand the results. We just see the good and how that makes us feel externally without understanding what people may have gone through. People are quick to say, oh, Rich Book, I want to be like you, or I'm trying to get like you. No, you don't, because what I've had to go through to get here, to be in this moment, to be in this now moment, I wouldn't wish on anybody. The pain, as big as the joy is. So I tell people self mastery is not about me being like me or you being like me or being like someone else and admiring them. It's about you fully being yourself. It's about you fully saying, this is what I want for my life. Freedom doesn't necessarily even mean that you're not going to have a 9 to 5 job. It means that I'm choosing this because this is what I want. And so because this is what I want, this is how I'm going to align my life to exactly what it is that I want. Again, there is no right or wrong. It just is. Accepting these things looks like, okay, I'm going here and I understand that these are all possible outcomes as a result. And I am accepting that as a result. When people drink alcohol, when you drink it, you know that you're accepting that you may get wild. You may be accepting that you may have a hangover the next day. You may accept that you may have a headache the next day. You're accepting everything that comes with that decision. That is freedom. Freedom is choosing to live your life without feeling, it's choosing to live your life with acceptance of everything that comes with it. Now, this is no different when people say, well, I just don't feel like talking to people on the phone and I don't want to answer. And you keep in that pattern. Yes, you may have struggle with some spiciness. You may struggle with depression. You may struggle with these things, but those things do not absolve you from how your behaviors and how you are choosing to choose yourself may impact your interpersonal relationships. This looks like you are continually showing up for yourself, knowing that, okay, if I don't want to answer when I'm ready to talk to these people, they may not be there. I left those people right where I left them. And guess what? People don't have to choose to be there. And I've had that own personal experience. I remember someone telling me, oh, this person didn't X you out their life. They kind of just moved you from the front row to the third or fourth row. And I was like, okay, no, I said, I absolutely understood. I was like, I understand that. People get to rearrange and reorganize people in their life, and they get to decide. The people who were moved get to decide if, hey, the fourth row isn't for me. That's not where I want to stay. I understand. I respect it. And actually, from the seat where I'm sitting and watching the show, I don't even think I want to participate anymore. And I'm going to exit stage left, stage right, stage all of that. So finding what is actually in alignment with you, for you, where you're growing to. This is what freedom looks like, what it feels like, y'all. And even talking to my sister friend, I was like, the one of the biggest things that I had to learn in fully being free and like being my full authentic self was getting used to just existing, being. You see life differently. You see color. You enjoy color. You're like, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Getting used to doing nothing and knowing that nothingness is production, because we're so used to doing. We're so used to doing that when we do nothing, we think that there's something wrong with us, and there's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with you, divine one. There's nothing wrong with you. Y'all, I'm just feeling so good today. I'm feeling so good today. And the warrior card came out again today for y'all. Okay. And the irony of this is because I wanted to talk about a couple of goddesses. So, and I shared that I had this Akashic record reading the other day. And in that reading, she talked about the deities that I'm closely aligned to. And she mentioned Athena and Kali Ma, or Ma Kali, however you want to say it, Kali Ma. So Kali Ma is the Indian goddess that has the multiple arms with the severed head necklaces, the red tongue, the wild hair, the red eyes, and then Athena is the Greek goddess of war. So warrior was the card that. And so the irony of this is with the moon being here, I don't know why, I just felt led to use a card today. And I'm going to talk about Athena first because I read Medusa by Ayana Gray. I read her version of Medusa, and I've always had a fascination with Medusa. I've had a fascination with Athena as well as Kali Ma. When I was younger, my mom was in seminary school, and I remember us having to go to different like temples. We've been to a synagogue, we went to a mosque, we went to a Hindu temple, and I saw Kali Ma, and it was like and I'm like, okay, this is scary. But even seeing my life aligning with Kalima, aligning with Athena, aligning with Shango, aligning with Oshun, aligning with Lord Hanuman, aligning with these deities, right? Aligning with their becoming stories, because these are just energies that flow and exist all around us. But anyway, back to Medusa. So everybody knows that Medusa is this snake-haired woman who seduces men and looks them in the eye and turns them to stone. I've always was like, this just does not resonate with me. The way that Athena is described in the Medusa story, specifically, that is the most famous, that Medusa was an acolyte in Athena's temple, and then she was violated by Poseidon, and then Athena punished her with the snake hair. And Athena's evil and all these other things. I've never in the story felt like Athena was wrong. I never felt like that was the true story of Athena and Medusa. And as I did further research, I learned that this interpretation was created by a man, right? So when we have men talking and describing divine feminine archetypes in their stories, it's all to their favor. So this divine goddess made this woman want to hate men? No. I'm gonna tell y'all the rich book interpretation, the divine download that I received from this experience, because people, and then I'll get to Oshun and people thinking, oh, who she is. All right, cool, pause. But anyway, what it looked like is Athena being a warrior goddess She was also known as the virgin goddess. And so she was never given to any man. She was like, nah, I'm out here. Like she doing what she do. She protected the city of Athens, whatever. So Medusa being her acolyte, worshiping and serving her, and she's like, she's my most devout acolyte. She's going to be a priestess. Once she learned she was violated in the human mind and the human psyche, she has a standard for the women that are serving her, and being a virgin is one of them. So people think that Athena punished Medusa because she was no longer a virgin. But what she was doing was empowering Medusa to never allow anyone to take advantage of a young, innocent woman, young girl again. So what Medusa was empowered with and endowed with the hair of snakes. We know that serpents is wisdom, and we know that serpents are affiliated with Lilith and the divine feminine archetype. So now she has these serpents of hair because she no longer is allowing men to do harm to women, to violate them. Athena created Medusa to be a warrior. She gave her a skill to be a warrior. I wholeheartedly think when they say it was Athena who gave the shield of a mirror to the man who, I don't even remember his name right now, who beheaded Medusa, I truly think that it was another Greek god, and I'm going to say Poseidon because he was a shapeshifter. He transformed himself as Athena and did such to further change the story. Again, these are man written stories. And so I'm here giving us the divine feminine archetype and empowered so that we can stop being afraid of these divine feminine women, and understanding that even as we go through this journey, all women are not created equal. Not all. And my mentor says this all the time. I love her immensely. She says that not everyone is going to master themselves. Not everyone is on the same journey. Some people will go as far as they go, and that's it. So I'm talking to the people who will go as far as life will take them, knowing that it's going to be filled with discomfort. And they're comforted in knowing that there will be discomfort along the journey, and that is not a deterrent. So with Medusa going out and advocating for women, protecting women, she wasn't seducing the men. She was exposing the men who didn't have self-discipline. She was exposing the men who were not in their divine masculine. She was exposing the men who didn't have emotional intelligence and eliminating them from this earth. So Athena being a warrior goddess, Medusa being empowered with a gift as a warrior, that's who she is. She's a martyr for women. She's a martyr for the divine feminine. She's a martyr for women. I might rewrite that story. I might rewrite Medusa's story just because, right? But then we talk about Oshun. Everybody sees Oshun. She's this beautiful goddess, this from the Orisha pantheon. No, she's a warrior. She uses her beauty and its strategy. She didn't just sit pretty. She was a strategist. When the other male gods, right, they were like, we don't need you. Go sit pretty elsewhere. She was like, oh, you don't need me. Okay, let me dry up all my water. Let me withdraw all my sweetness from the earth, and let me know. They had to beg her. She went and flew into the sun, right? And that's where her vulture side comes from. Oh, Oshun, come, please. We need your water. We need you to help us. Oh, you need us now. You need me now. Okay. Learn your place. Ladies, if you're watching this, you're you're in your divine feminine. You're a warrior. There is no more victim mindset here. There is no reason why you can't have everything that you want to have. When we think about Kali Ma, and they talk about how her husband Shiva, I believe it's Shiva, came and he was the only God that was able to calm her in her path of destruction. But what they don't talk about is that Kali Ma was chopping off the heads of men who were violating women, men who were destroying the earth, men who were destroying women and children. She was violated. She was eliminating them. But she was getting so destructive. She like everything going down. When her husband came to her, he did nothing. He didn't tell her to stop. He didn't yell at her. He didn't do nothing. This man laid at her feet And she stopped in her path at this God, this divine masculine, who laid himself out before this divine feminine. That's why when you are truly in your divine feminine, it is necessary, it is a must to have a divine masculine. You know that as a sovereign woman, this journey is not for everybody. That's just it. It's not for everybody. It's it's not for everybody. So being on this journey, he just submitted himself. The divine masculine knows in order for him to be fully in his power, to have his authority, to for women to surrender and submit to him, he must submit and surrender to the divine feminine energy. Y'all, I was talking about this with my sister friend today. Y'all see, I was hyped. I was hyped about it. But I was talking about it because it is time now. My phrase of master yourself, alchemize everything is simply working on yourself, being accountable and responsible for everything, and using your life experiences to move you forward, to transform you, to renew your mind, to renew your heart, to renew your spirit. There is no right or wrong to any of this. This is all about you showing up for yourself, for yourself. You are your why. You are your why. And when you are in and on purpose, then you will benefit others. If you're your divine feminine, understand that you are writing your story, goddess, and don't allow others to interpret that for you. You're a warrior in your life. Tap into your own intuition. Commune with the moon. There's a song, Farafina Muso, by Lubiana. And she says, if the earth is a woman, if the moon is a woman, if the man loves a woman, if God is a woman. Yes, divine feminine, I know what I'm saying. I know who I'm talking to. I know who I'm speaking to. The time is now. The time is now. If this resonated with you and you're like, yes, I need this. I'm going through this. Book your clarity and activation session with me. Get that one-on-one. arichbook.com. Join the email list. I have my sister friend was like, I hear a divine feminine, something coming. You're going to join in. You got these experiences. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that immensely. I feel it deeply. I feel it. I feel it deep inside that it's time for you. If you want to learn, be sure to be on my email list because I'm going to be sending some things out. If you're not connected with me across social media, a.richbook on every platform. If you have any thoughts or questions, shoot me an email, amber@arichbook.com. Again, let's have that one-on-one session. Let's talk about it. Let's talk it through because you know exactly where you're growing to. But you're like, how exactly do I get there? And that's part of what I'm saying at the beginning of the video when I talked about freedom. People want what they want, but don't understand what comes with it. So then when they get what they want, it's like, oh shit, like I didn't know. People want the husband, but don't want to humble themselves in the marriage. People want the wife, but they don't want to humble themselves to their wives. People want the children, but don't understand you have to raise them at every phase, not just till when they're 18, but through life and for life. People want these experiences. You want the body, but you also have to do the work to get it. Every time I talk to my Pilates clients, they always want to be like, oh, I want abs. Okay, well, there's so much more that comes to getting abs than just doing Pilates. Definitely nutrition, definitely deep core workouts, and then ab workouts. So they're so multifaceted, and that's where freedom comes from. It comes from you choosing yourself each and every day. It comes with you honoring yourself. It comes with you showing up and walking in alignment. It comes with that. It comes with the responsibility of making the decisions that align with what you're asking for every single day. Y'all, I love you, love you, love you. Thank you for rocking with me on this check-in. Remember, I'm coming to you. My goal is to hit a whole year of doing these daily check-ins. And y'all are like, yo, I remember where she started from because this is where I started from. Y'all, I love you, love you, love you. And I'll catch you on tomorrow's check-in.